For you, with the brands, do you feel like, because there was like this big issue with Revolve
Oh, yeah.
where they weren't being inclusive.
Yes. They're
Do you
known for
find
that.
yours right?
Yeah, they're known for that.
And I've heard a lot of Latinas, by the way, that are like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, they don't really, to me, I don't see diversity at all in that brand
Yeah.
whatsoever. So,
But how do we change? Can we change that, or is it ultimately from them? Is it like a we situation, or is it like a you guys
them,
need to
I
see
think it's
us?
them, to be honest,
Yeah.
because also who are they catering their
Right.
services and things to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have to see that they need to bring diversity. And they might have, like the last time they went to Coachella,
Mm-hmm.
they might have a few, you know, creators who are of color or,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not, it's not cutting it.
Yeah.
I
It's
should
not
say
enough.
it's not cutting it.
Yeah.
They need more. They need to do more. And I mean, what can we do? We can continue to talk about it and them do something on their end, but I mean, they should know it's 2022. Like, bruh, you need
What do
some
we do?
diversity. Come on.
Welcome to Growing Up Latina. I am your host, Alyi V, and I am super excited. I just want to say thank you guys because you guys have been commenting, subscribing, leaving me messages on IG, and it's been honestly overwhelming, but so amazing for me. So thank you guys for like just listening to the show. Today, I have an amazing guest. She is a friend of mine, Samantha Ortiz.
What's up, baby?
Oh my God. I'm so hyped. And I reached out to you a couple of times on
Yes,
IG, like,
yes.
we're going to do it. And then you're like, are we going to do it?
I know.
All right, Alyi. And I'm like, no, I got something, girl. So thank
Mhm.
you for like
Of
not
course.
ignoring me because you
Never,
never ignore
never,
me.
never.
Thank you. But we've been friends. It's been a while now since we
Yes.
met each other,
Been long.
right?
Years.
Yo,
Like,
years.
like I was in my 20s.
I know. Back in my clubbing days.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? We met via our mutual friend,
Yep.
Hollywood Hino,
Mm-hmm.
at the gym.
Crazy.
Crazy.
And
And
look
I
at us
wasn't
now.
even like really working out. At that time, I was like kind of getting
Kind of
into
getting
it.
into it, yeah.
Yeah.
Wetting your feet.
Yes. And you were like a G with it. You was in there. But you
My
were so
favorite.
like welcoming and friendly to me.
Aw,
So thank
of
you.
course.
Thank you for coming on the show.
Absolutely. I'm here, baby. We Latina. We're gonna,
I know. How are you? How are you
I'm
today?
fabulous. Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm grateful for every day and just what we've had to go through,
Right?
in the past 2 years has been rough. So every day is a blessing for me and I'm just happy to be
Every
here
day
and
is a
enjoy.
blessing.
That's right.
I want to come on. Let's take a
Oh,
cheers to
that's,
that.
I say
Every
that.
day is a blessing. I
Amen.
live.
Yes. Cheers.
Cheers. You gotta look at me.
Oh, sorry.
I
Yes.
do not want to have bad sex. You have
No.
a husband, so you good. But me,
She's like, look at me,
look at
boom.
me.
Okay, got you. Mm. I don't mind taking another sip, Was
You
there
know.
another issue? Do I have to take another sip or
Is there anything else?
double checking? I wasn't
Yeah.
sure.
So listen, girl. Your IG. First of all, because I've been knowing you for a minute, so
Mhm.
the way you have curated your IG, I appreciate. You giving fitness,
Mhm.
you giving fashion, you giving Latina,
No, yes.
you giving
Absolutely.
excursions, escapes. Like
Yeah.
you giving it all, which we love. And I love to see the love. The love between you and your husband.
Oh, thank
Amazing. Your wedding.
you. Oh
I'm
my
gonna get
gosh.
into that
you're gonna
one.
get in.
I'm gonna get into that
We
one.
need a whole episode just for that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get into that one, but I want to start from the beginning. So, where
Mhm.
are you from,
Mhm.
and where did you grow up?
Sure. So I am born and raised in Brooklyn, New York. So native New Yorker. I like to
Yes.
say that because, we don't have a lot of those still.
Yeah. Yes.
And I'm Puerto Rican. So
Hey,
I'm Puerto Rican. My family is from Puerto Rico, and yo soy boricua.
pa que tú
Tú
lo
lo
sepas. Right. What was it like for you growing up?
It was different. And I say that because my family dynamic was different in terms of I had my mom, my dad, and my sister, but my
Mhm.
dad had been sick basically his whole life.
Mhm.
He was 16 years old when he got kidney failure.
Mhm.
So we grew up living every day like it was our last day with
Right.
our dad, in terms of like we would always have fun
Right.
and live it to our fullest.
That's right.
Because he was years on dialysis, open heart surgeries. I mean, he's been through it. We've slept on hospital floors. Like, I could
Mm.
go so into those moments, but
Yeah.
we lived a very challenging but very happy life because my mom really didn't want to bring negative energy to us
Mhm.
because of the situation. So she tried any moment to just make something happy, and I would say the same for my dad. So
Yeah.
it was a different experience, but I'm grateful for it because it's literally made me who I am today.
That's so crazy to even say that because I always feel like in our culture, talking about health or
Mhm.
death,
Mhm.
it's like we don't want to talk about it. Like my mom, and not even my mom, just like the family in general, if we had like any health issues, it wasn't a situation where it was like, hey, go to the hospital, get your yearly checkup, go
Mhm.
to the dentist, go to your GYN, or
Mhm.
hey, let's talk about what happens when you transition to the other side. And so for you, it seemed like you had a very early start
Mhm.
to that.
Yes.
Um, how did your mom even explain those things to you in a way where you could understand it?
I think it's more like appreciating.
Mm,
Uh, that's how we lived our life,
right,
appreciating those moments and not taking them for granted, and going to the doctor and making sure everything was okay. And that's kind of how we took it.
right,
So she was open about it. We knew. I mean, my dad was literally 6 before we were born, so
right.
it was normal to us.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it was the way that she approached the situation,
Mm-hmm.
and it was like just being grateful and understanding what's happening. But
Right.
you don't that doesn't determine who you are and
Mm,
who we are as a family. We're more
right.
than the disease that he had. So
Right.
that's kind of how we went about our lives.
And what were like some of the, and whatever you feel comfortable with,
Yeah, no
honestly, but
problem.
like
Hmm.
what were some of the, I guess, moments where your dad gave you like the best advice?
I
Because
think,
every like little girl's like the daddy's girl.
yeah, yes, yes.
So, and you strike me as a daddy's
I
girl,
definitely
right?
was, and I was his tomboy. So my
Okay.
sister, even though she played sports as well, like I did, but I was like the boy. Like I
Yeah.
love being active, and like
Mm-hmm.
that's kind of where we connected a lot because I loved playing baseball, softball, any activity. That was who I was,
Right.
and still am. But
Mm-hmm.
we connected on that level, my father and I. So, and also being an entrepreneur, both of my parents, my dad passed, but entrepreneurs.
Right.
So they've always taught me to go to the beat of my own drum,
I love that.
create my own wealth, don't work for anyone, go after your own dreams. So I think my father and I had those connections where he wanted to see me become the best version of myself,
Mm-hmm.
doing my own business, whatever it was. They were always so supportive of whatever I wanted to do. And him and I connected on that level. In
Mm-hmm.
addition to being a sports fanatic, I would watch baseball with him all the time.
Right.
We would talk sports all day. So that's a lot of fun stuff that we had together. Those
What was like the
memories.
most difficult part of your childhood?
My dad dying.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
Yeah.
was the hardest part.
It's like you can never. People say, "Oh, sometimes you got to give it time to heal," but
No.
there's never an amount of time to heal.
No.
When you have such a close relative, your mom, your dad, that hits
Mm,
on a different type of level.
different level.
I always say like passing for me, because my dad wasn't around growing up, so my grandfather was a father figure,
Mm-hmm.
for
He
me.
stepped in. Yeah.
He stepped in,
Mm-hmm.
and even throughout like my high school, I actually would stay in his house, throughout the weekdays just to be closer to school.
Mm-hmm.
And we had such a strong connection. When he passed away, it was like,
So devastating.
girl, my world crumbled.
Mm-hmm.
To this day, and I was telling Amanda Karina, but to this day, I have my Blackberry that has videos of us
Mm.
and I won't give it up. And I'm
Yeah.
like, I just need the charger just to see that one video
Yeah.
again. Or like, I'll listen to like messages that I had. Like,
Mhm.
that's how connected.
Yeah.
But I also feel like I wasn't prepared.
Yeah. You're never prepared.
I wasn't prepared, and like no one told me in my family like
Mhm.
what it's like. So
Mhm.
for me, it was like the first time where I had to question God.
Yeah.
And that was like a whole different situation, but it was like,
Yep. I get it, girl.
Dios, Papa Dios,
Yeah. Like, what's up?
I got
Bruh.
questions. No, but you know what's interesting too is like you do have a sister, and
Mhm.
the woman empowerment in your family is a great dynamic
Oh yeah.
because
Thank
you
you.
really uplift your sister a lot.
Oh yeah. That's my boo.
You support, yo, I love your sister. She's fun.
She's amazing. She's an amazing human being.
And how is it? Because you know, like sometimes when you're with sisters, you're like either jealous or you get like hand-me-down clothes or like big sister. But like you and your sister seem like equal. Like that's like your best friend.
Literally my best friend. It took okay, I always say this. We're 7 years apart. You
Mhm.
wouldn't know that. You wouldn't.
You would
She looks like
never.
she's 12. And
Girl. No, seriously.
she literally looks like she's 12.
Seriously.
But honestly, our parents were so good. We never were jealous of each other. Like we never felt like we were in competition. Our parents treated us the way like our personalities were, so and we never felt like envious of one another. The only thing when we were growing up, because she's 7 years older than me, she would kind of act like my mom sometimes.
That part.
And I'll be like, girl, like, I'm
you
like,
so
you're,
overprotective?
I know, I'm like, I want you to be my sister, not like, I
Yes.
would literally call her Mother Hen because she was like on top of me. And one day I was just like, enough. Like, I want you to be my sister, not my mom. And she stopped literally from there. Yeah. And that was it.
Wow.
But we've always been super, super close.
What about a brother? You ever felt like you wanted like?
I did, but then I would be the middle child. Honey.
It's not giving that. It's not giving that.
I don't know about you, but in my family,
I'm the middle.
Well.
I'm the middle, and it sucks. It's hard. No, it's hard because it's like I have a younger brother. Well, I always say this. I have 5 sisters and 4 brothers.
Ay, Dios mío.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's
I know all about sharing.
With that number,
I've received the hand-me-downs of everything. I've also had to hand down
stuff
a
too,
lot.
Yeah.
But siblings are like your best friends.
They are.
Like no matter what, like you fight with them, they annoy you. They're like,
that happens. But
you
it's
ever
like
got
it's
into like a big
connection.
fight with your sister? Like a crazy, like, I'm not talking to you ever.
Yeah, but 5 minutes later, we're like, we're chatting. Like, what do you want? Can I borrow this? Or like, it's very weird. Like, I don't know. Again, maybe because how we grew up, and we understood what connection was and how important it was. Person to person. So we never really had like a blowout where I don't talk to her.
Yeah.
If I don't talk to her, it would be literally for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. What about school? Like, what was school like for you?
It was fun. I mean,
was it?
Yeah, because I am a leader. Like, I don't follow anybody. I do what I want to do. That is my personality.
Always gave me that vibe.
Yes, I do what I want to do.
Totally.
And it's not to like, I wouldn't tell other people what to do. It's just like, okay, I'm not doing that.
But it's not in an egotistic way with you.
Not at all.
It's like, yo, if you're good here, great.
Yeah.
I'm cool over here.
Over here, yeah. That's
no
me.
problem. I love that about you. I do. I've always loved that about you because even when you and I started hanging, you just, like I said, you seem very vibrant and very fun and very like nonchalant, but not in a way where like you didn't care about anything. It's just like things rolled off your shoulders. You wasn't like pressed on anything.
Yeah.
And I love that because for me, I was more like a little dramatic. It would take me a longer time to get over things. But you were always like, bailando.
Oh, yeah. That's me all day, baby. That's it.
Where does that energy come from?
I just have it. Like, people ask me, like, I swear, like, I just bust out and I have it. I don't drink coffee. I was
about to ask you that
take any nothing. Absolutely nothing. It's just natural. And again, I think it's from how I was raised. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on something I don't have control over. I'm just
Yeah.
not. My energy, I don't want my energy there. It doesn't deserve to be there. So
And it doesn't serve you.
it doesn't. So,
It
but
doesn't serve.
you learn to do that. You know, some people weren't raised the way I was, or still learning to do those things. So it takes time, yes. But once you're there, it's just like you live such a happier life, the
Totally.
life you deserve to live.
Mm-hmm. How'd you get into the fitness?
Fitness. It goes back to being younger, being a tomboy, always playing sports. Like I just love sports.
Really? Like you love gym class?
I love gym. Like
I hated
I always
gym.
say this, and this is funny. I went to college to play sports. Like I didn't go.
Did you really?
I swear. Like
No way,
I
for
was
real?
just like, I know what I want to do. Like I always knew I
And
wanted
that's
my
it.
own business because again, my parents taught us that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't really need this, but I want to go because I want to play. So that's what I did. And I
Really?
played and I had a blast. I played softball and volleyball in college.
Now, is your sister as active as you?
Not as much as me, but she
Okay.
can play if she really wanted to. She played in high school and in college too, softball. But I was more of
The
like this is
active.
my life. I love
Is
this.
that something like, because there's signs of like when you grow up, like, okay, this is what I want to be. Did you, like what you're doing now,
hmm
have you always known in your younger life, like, this is what I want to be when I grow up? Or
It
was it
was
something totally opposite?
it was more of I want to be my own boss. I want to have my own business, but I don't know what it was yet.
Mm-hmm.
But fitness in general, I really got into it because I am athletic. So I just love helping people become the best versions of themselves, like literally. Because I feel like people stop themselves.
Mm-hmm.
The smallest thing, like doing a box jump, like they're so afraid. And I'm like, you can do this. And like breaking those barriers for people, it seems so small to
Mm-hmm.
maybe someone else, but to that person, that can mean anything.
Mm-hmm.
That moment can impact them in a different way, in a life, different part of their life.
All
So
right.
me, fitness is more than just physical. And I always say this because my dad was a person who physically couldn't do much.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he worked, he provided for his family, but he was going to supposedly play professional baseball. That's how good he was athletically.
Mm-hmm.
But because he got sick, he wasn't able to do that. So when I got into fitness, it was more like I want to help people see their true potential and ability and
Mm-hmm.
privilege that they have to move their body,
Mm-hmm.
because my father didn't have that. So
So you
again,
were not training the body, you were more so training the mind.
yeah, yeah. That's
That's
that's why
deep.
I feel like I'm different than other people in my industry, because maybe they were in a different body structure in the beginning of their journey, and then they changed to a bettering themselves, and that's how they're running their businesses. But that wasn't that for me. I've
Mm,
always been athletic looking.
right.
For me, it was something completely different.
Do you feel like, because I always feel like with fitness, I equate fitness for me
Mhm.
with confidence
Mhm.
because I I feel like I had trouble, and maybe till this day I still kind of have trouble with confidence where it's like, can I do this? Is it like, can I push this far? Can I really do it? And I find myself asking
Questioning.
people
Yeah.
like, you think I could do this? And they're like, Allie, are you kidding me?
Mhm.
And I'm like, no, but for real, do you think I could do it? And it's almost like the validation, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I remember kind of Googling what are some of the ways you can gain confidence.
Mhm.
Fitness is like a major part of it, right?
Absolutely.
And so during the pandemic, I went hard
I
on
know.
the
I saw
fit.
you, girl. I saw you.
Girl, I went hard on the fitness. Was the pandemic like, because I know like now you're going from physical gym to like now virtual,
Yeah.
but you seem like you did well
Yeah.
virtually.
I got a taste of both because I
Okay.
used to own my own fitness studio.
Mm-hmm.
So I've had classes in person and I've done all of that prior to the pandemic.
Right.
And then once the pandemic hit, it was a transition, of course, but I always try to make a connection. It doesn't matter if it's a camera, I'm in the face of that camera. I'm in that lens. Like I'm out
Yeah.
here in your face. Like I want you to hear me. I want you to feel my
Yeah.
energy. I want you to understand that you can do this.
Yeah.
So that it could be in person or it could be on virtually. I'll kill it both. I've done it both. So
You know what's crazy, Sam? Like, I look at your Instagram and I always admire you, honestly. And I've never told you this ever because we're honestly like we've known each other for a minute, right?
Yes,
But we
literally.
don't hang out like every day.
Mm-mm.
But I see you on IG, so I feel super connected.
Mhm.
And one of the things I say about you is that you're unapologetically you.
Mm.
Like, yo, you could be without makeup. You
Oh,
could
yeah.
you don't care at
You're so
all.
cute.
No,
Thank
but
you.
I love that because me, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna do this story. Let me put on a face real quick. Let me see what filter
Yeah.
it's giving today. But you don't care, and you're like so happy, and it's like you're comfortable in your skin.
Mhm.
Where did that come from?
After again, when I was growing up, like,
Yeah.
um, I just it could be also my industry as well because it's so polished. I'm not a typical trainer.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to show what real women look like
Mm.
and what you don't need to slap makeup on yourself all the time if you don't want to. Some
Mm-hmm.
people enjoy it and that's great. Like I'm not that's different
Yeah.
than, trying to hide something from your beauty, because everyone
Right.
has their imperfections, I would say. But
Like their
I'm
thing.
just like, fuck it.
You accept it.
Yeah, I'm just like, I'm not perfect in no sense, but
Mm-hmm.
what is that benefiting me? It's not. Why
Yeah.
do I have to talk down on myself? That's not helping me, So again, I'm just always like, it's not worth it.
It's not worth it.
Enjoy it. Like I wake up, I'm so grateful. Like I think when people take those moments to really start embracing themselves and talking to themselves in a positive light, they
Mm-hmm.
will see change. But if you're constantly talking down to yourself or
Yeah.
following people who you want to look like, but is
It's
that
not
really
realistic.
helping you,
Yeah.
So I've always been like beating to my own drum. So
And I'll tell you this much, girl, even your hair.
yeah.
And let me wait, I know that sounds super weird, right? Her hair.
They're like, what?
But because naturally I have curly hair.
Yes, I know you do.
And growing up, mommy always told me for job interviews,
Straight hair.
straight. Going to school, mommy straightened, did the doobie
Oh
with
yeah.
the
Ooh.
pinchos,
Yep.
the shit wrapped around
Yeah.
8 times. I'm like, Mom,
Then when you take that down, ooh,
you be like this.
that pain.
You
Ooh,
massage the
baby.
scalp, right? But it was like this thing in my family where straight hair was like the professional
Mm,
look.
Mm-hmm.
But for you, you're just like,
Yeah.
I'ma live out loud and I'ma live my life. Like
Yeah.
J-Lo said, and I'ma live my life. But you don't care.
Mm-mm.
And when I was doing my research, girl, because I do my
I
research.
know you do.
But you were saying growing up, you always pushed your hair back.
Yeah.
But then there was like a transitional period where you're like, okay, I'm gonna wear it curly.
Yeah.
So what was that change for you?
I've always had my hair curly. It's more of like I didn't like a lot of volume. Like I would be like, with the gel hairspray mousse, like
No.
that puppy was down, honey.
It was the
No,
scrunchy
yeah, it
look.
was that scrunch, like
Mm.
almost like this. 'Cause I just washed my hair, but it was that scrunch,
Girl,
And
that
then I
scrunch.
think I went to Miami
Uh-huh.
with my friends, and she was natural. Like she
Mhm.
had her hair was gorgeous, still is. And she was like, "Why don't you use natural hair products?" And I'm like, "Oh, about the volume, that's too much." Anyway, so she ended up doing my hair, and I loved it. It was like black right here, it was
Mm.
short, and I just fell in love with it. And from that moment on, I just always use like natural hair products that gave me that volume that I wanted. So in sports, I would always put my hair up. Like I never wanted it in my face.
Well, yeah, that makes
That makes
sense.
sense,
Yeah,
right?
that
Or
makes a
even
lot
when
of
I worked
sense.
out, I was like, I don't want this shit in my face. But
Mhm. Mhm.
I guess as I started embracing it even more, then I was just like, who cares? Now I work out with my hair down. It doesn't matter. Like it just depends on like what I'm feeling.
But it didn't even matter like growing up. Like no one told you, "Hey, you have to wear your hair
No.
like this," or you
My mom would never say anything like that. My dad, he would be like, "Oh, you look like a lion with your hair." Not in like a negative way. He'd just be like,
Yeah.
"You have so much hair," and I'm just like, "I know."
But that's your crown.
Yeah, I
People don't
believe.
understand that hair is the crown. I always say, if your hairdresser, like, first of all, I can't work with anyone that does not love what they
They
do,
do.
right?
Mhm.
Including my hairdresser. So
That's
I
true.
feel like when you get your hair done, girl, if you're not getting a second wind, if you're not ready to hop up
I know, right?
and like go out, fire the
Yeah,
hairdresser.
you should be feeling like
Like if you get your hair done and you got to go to bed,
mm, something's up.
what is it giving?
Yeah, what happened? No.
It's
You should be
giving
like,
nap.
"Yeah, vamos, let's go to the club, let's do
That's what I'm
something."
saying, because the hair is like, it's the energy, it's the
Mhm.
flow, it's the,
It's my personality. I always say that.
yo,
It's an extension of your
that's your
personality.
personality.
Yeah. It's big, it's vibrant, it's loud, it's full of
Yes.
life.
I
It
swear to
moves, it
God that
bounces.
your hair describes you.
Yeah, that's why I always tell people that. I'm like, my hair is who I am. Like it's an
It's who
extension
you.
of my personality, for sure.
They just March 18 of
Mhm.
2022, they passed the Crown Act, which is the Anti-Hair Discrimination Act.
Ah,
So no one can discriminate
that's right.
against your hair,
I love
which I
that.
love.
That's beautiful. That
Which
should have been, but
years
I know. But
ago.
I mean, look at the growth that we've made, So that's beautiful. I love that. I love that. I
Yeah.
love that.
Yeah. So I feel like now it's being more accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like it should be accepted because, to your point, it is a part of the culture, right?
It is.
Like, it's a part of like who we are as Latinas. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why hide it? Why minimize it?
Mm-hmm.
Even down to accents, right? Like, I have an accent and I always was made fun of. Like, you sound like Rosie. I'm like, I don't care. Like, it's me. Like, I'm Puerto
I love
Rican.
it.
Like,
Yeah.
When I
Sounds
go to
good to
Puerto
me.
Rico, they sound like me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, yes, this is who I am. So it's just that thing where there's so many stereotypes in us.
Mm-hmm.
What do you feel are some of like the biggest stereotypes in being a Latina?
Definitely having a lot of babies, for sure.
Right?
That's so definitely
They,
one.
which is so crazy because when I hear like people are like only child, I'm like, you're the only child? And you're Puerto
What?
Rican? You're Hispanic? No
What
way.
happened there?
Wow. Wowzers.
Yeah, I know. It's true. It's like,
Yeah.
definitely, the big hoops, the baby
Girl, to the
hair.
day I die,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
I
do my
know.
hoops.
I know.
Mm-hmm.
I have baby ones today, but usually they're big. What else? Being Latina, sounding like you said, like we
Or
have our
us being
accent.
loud, right?
Yeah, but like I don't care. But you're right. Yeah, I mean,
You
I
know,
don't care about anything,
no,
but I'm just
which I
like,
love,
yeah.
but I used to feel some type of way because people would be like, "You're from the Bronx and you're loud," and I'm like, I don't know what that means.
And now people want to live in the Bronx and be loud too.
And be loud.
I'm just saying.
And I made this show for us to be loud.
Exactly.
Like, who the
Have
hell's
our
gonna whisper? Like, I'm not doing that.
no.
I'm
Not
not
me.
doing that.
Mm-mm.
You know how I know you were like my day one, and I always say this. I know my day ones when they call me Alex.
Mm.
And you called me
I
Alex.
definitely did.
And I was like,
yes.
That's my girl.
It don't matter if we don't see each other. Yeah, it's crazy.
Let me tell you something. I could walk down the street. If I hear Alex, I'm like, oh, this person has known
They
me
know
from
you.
back in the day. Right?
Yeah.
Do you ever get that feeling like, yo?
They're like, oh yeah, like when
like,
people
who knows
call
me from back in the day?
I would say like you have to say Manti. Like that's my.
Oh, is that your thing, Manti?
That's my nickname. Like my
Manti?
family and very close friends know that. Like I don't.
Manti.
Well, so Manti is my handle,
Yeah.
but if you only like my family calls me Manti. They don't call me Samantha. They don't call me Sam. Manti. Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah.
That's real cute.
So that's where the So Manti comes from.
So
So
Manti.
is Samantha Ortiz. Mm-hmm.
Why I didn't put that together?
People were like, oh.
I was today years old when I found when I found out.
I know. Don't worry. I put that so long ago. I'm just like crazy. I'm like leaving it now. So, but yeah, that's what that means.
You work with a lot of brands, which I
Mhm.
love. And
Mhm.
like I said in the beginning, like you curated your page. And because I've known you for a minute, I've also seen the growth. And you've gotten so many followers. And it wasn't one day to the next, honestly. It really
No,
was like
yeah.
a journey type of
Yeah.
situation. Um, how do you know who to partner with at this point, like where you're at today?
It depends on the brand because I want to see diversity in the brand.
Mm,
So before I even say yes or we're going to have a conversation, I
mm-hmm,
look into the brand and
mm,
see like what their social media pages project. What are they
mm,
looking for? Who do they work with? What are the members of the team look like? Like I go in depth. I just don't work with anybody.
right.
So though I do some research behind before I go to work with brands.
So you've said no to,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
definitely. Mm-hmm.
you don't care. She's like,
I don't care.
I told you in the beginning of this, I marched
Well,
to the beat of my own drums.
the thing is that it's integrity, you know,
It is.
and I don't care
It
what
is.
nobody says. Like I do not promote a brand that I do not trust and use their services or products. Like I just don't.
Yeah.
And even if they reach out to me and I haven't done that, I will ask them to send me the product. I want to try it first. I want to make sure that I like it. I'm not going to expose this to my community
Mm-hmm.
and then they go and purchase it and it's shit. I'm not doing that. So
Right.
I have to try it first for sure.
For you, with the brands, do you feel like, because there was like this big issue with Revolve
Oh, yeah.
where they weren't being inclusive.
Yes. They're
Do you
known for
find
that.
right?
Yeah, they're known for that.
And I've heard a lot of Latinas, by the way, that are like, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Well, they don't really, to me, I don't see diversity at all in that brand
Yeah.
whatsoever. So
But how
I,
do we change? Can we change that, or is it ultimately from them? Is it like a we situation, or is it like a you guys
them
need to
I
see
think it's
us?
them, to be honest,
Yeah.
because also who are they catering their
Right.
services and things to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they have to see that they need to bring diversity. And they might have like the last time they went to Coachella,
Mm-hmm.
they might have a few, you know, creators who are of color or
Mm-hmm.
but it's not, it's not cutting it.
Yeah.
I
It's
should
not
say
enough.
it's not cutting it.
Yeah.
They need more. They need to do more. And I mean, what can we do? We can continue to talk about it and them do something on their end. But I mean, they should know it's 2022. Like, bruh, you need
What are
some
we doing?
diversity. Come on, wake up.
I feel like that's a lot, not even for their brand, but just like for many brands.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even in the Latin community, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we're getting better in the sense of like we have a voice now,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like changes still need to be made. What are some of the changes you feel like you would like to see within the Latin community?
More community.
That's what I always feel like.
These moments right here, like this.
I
Doing meetups,
always say that.
like I feel like other groups do that a lot,
Mhm.
but I feel like we don't. And I don't know
Why?
why. I don't know why. And I think I need to change that as well. Like put effort behind it.
In what way do you feel like?
Doing more community things, doing more
Mm,
like I do it virtually, but I want to do it more in person. And
right.
I'm starting to do that. I'm gonna be doing so monthly retreats
I
and
love that.
I'm so excited about
I'm
it.
signing up. I'm signing
I'm
up.
so excited because I feel like we don't have that. We don't have those moments. Again, I feel like other cultures do, and we don't have that. And we don't talk about certain things, or we might feel judgmental. I mean, feel judged in certain scenarios. And I want a safe space for my people.
Mhm.
So I think that if we come together and really build a force, then nobody can fuck with us.
But I always say that about us, like, we're really not the minorities.
Hmm.
Like, I swear, and not to be, like, ignorant, like, I really feel like we're the majority because the National Puerto Rican Day Parade, it's the biggest parade,
Literally.
right?
Yes.
And even with, like, this show and doing the outreach, I received a lot of support. And I just feel I've always felt like the Latin community, one thing about us is we do support one another. You know,
Yes. No,
like
we do.
if you have something, I'm like, girl, I'm gonna support it. I'm gonna buy it. Like,
Absolutely. We
you
need
know,
more of that though. We need more of
yes,
that.
we do
Yeah.
need
Not
more.
that we don't support each other. It's more of like we need to have events or different moments to do that. I don't
Hmm.
think we do that enough. I don't think we have those opportunities to do it as much as we can do it or want to do it.
Do you feel like we don't create those opportunities, or do you feel like they're not given to us?
Both.
Mm, yeah.
I just I see more now happening, so I'm happy about that. But how do I say this?
I feel like you want to say something, but I feel.
For like Puerto Rican women,
Mhm.
y- for Dominican, for women, because I feel like okay. So I
Wait, do you
went.
feel for like women in general, like women?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But I feel like some other Hispanic groups come together, and there is a lot of unity there. But for me, I feel as a Puerto Rican woman, I don't see it as much for my people,
Mm,
like my specific group of
really?
Boricuas. Yeah, at least on my end. Maybe there
Right. No,
is,
no. I'm not saying
and
like
I
really, like, oh my God. I'm
no
saying
no
like
no.
really, like really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I want to create that. And it doesn't have to just be for Puerto Rican women, but I
Yeah.
want to be a Puerto Rican woman being able to give opportunities just like you're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel, I do feel that. I feel like because we are Latinas and we do live out loud, right? Like that's like our
Mhm.
thing. Like
Mhm.
we're out loud.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like, do we live out loud?
Yeah, do we actually
Like, do
like
we actually,
yeah.
and I'm not saying ruffle feathers.
Yeah.
We it's not giving that. It's just giving like, yo, stand in our truth.
Mhm.
You know, like don't be afraid. You
Mhm.
know, take that risk. You know, like build that business, help other women, like even small businesses.
Mhm.
You know, I feel like I interviewed Chachi Nation
Mhm.
on Growing Up Latina, and there was something that she said that I really connected with. Like, we support a J Lo, we support a Beyonce, but what about the people across?
Mhm.
You know?
Mhm.
And she wasn't saying like don't support J Lo. She's like we all love J Lo, right?
Of
But
course.
like, what about like that other person
Mhm.
that's not the J Lo but
Yeah.
still doing amazing
Amazing
work?
things. Yeah. I agree.
Why are we not reposting? Why are we not retweeting?
It's so important, those things. I don't
It's
think
so
people
important.
get that. Like, it's so important to do those things. It's the smallest gesture. Doesn't cost you a damn thing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing. But I think when you're in that position, you understand more.
Hmm.
When you are an entrepreneur, you understand the hustle. You know, when you are going after your dreams, you understand the
Oh, you
hustle.
understand.
And I think as I'm getting older, I'm understanding that what I see and how I feel doesn't always relate to everyone else. And what I can do is share what I'm feeling or share how important it is to support in that way.
Yeah.
Because again, it might seem small to that person, like, oh, I don't have that many followers. I don't have no one who you don't know who
You
that
don't
can make
know.
a difference for this person. So I think expressing that is important. Just like on social media, like I'll express how much work it is for a content creator to create content.
It's a lot of
It's a
work.
lot of work. It's hours of work. And I don't
Like,
think
what's like your day to day?
it can vary. One video can literally take me like 4 to 6 hours to
Wow.
do. And that's editing it. The whole other part of actually creating it is another
And
thing. And
conceptualizing it,
yes,
right?
and getting that idea, oh, okay, I
This
wanted
is the
to
way I should do it. This is, yeah.
exactly. So there's so much work behind it. And when people just see the final product, they're like, oh, they're slaying it. They're doing this. Like there's so much work behind
So
that.
much work.
And your like, your share, your comment, your repost means a lot.
It helps.
It helps so much. So I think we need to start sharing what those moments are for us, how much work it is. And it's not like kind of say like, oh, look at me, like I work so hard. It's not like that. It's more like explaining, like, this is what, and I've done that and I've gotten such great response back. It's like, oh, thank you so much for sharing that. I didn't even know that this took you this long, or this is how you come up with this. Like, there's so many ins and outs to what we
Yeah.
do as entrepreneurs and creators. I think we need to share those behind the scenes, because not only is it good for us sharing it to the community, but it's also good for us to be like, see, this is something that you can do, but it's going to be work, of course, but
hmm
you can do it too. You
But I
know,
like that you shared the work and the
it's
journey
important.
part
Yeah. And
because I
also, it's a
think like
moment of connection,
it is. You're
a
right about
moment of
that.
connection.
It's a moment of like relatability
Yes,
because
absolutely.
so Monty, IG, you could be you're on vacation, you're this, and you show us
Mm-hmm.
the finished product.
Mm-hmm.
But like in your stories,
That's
you
that's what
show
goes
us.
down. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like
The stories,
you have like the
yes.
A side, B
Yeah.
side, like that's like your B side of the
Uh-huh.
tape, like
Mm-hmm.
you really breaking it down
Yeah.
for us. And, like kudos to you because I haven't gotten there yet. Like I'm trying, honestly.
All right.
Um,
We'll have our time. Don't worry.
yeah, I'm like, I struggle with that because I'm like,
I
well,
struggle with
what
it
am I
too.
gonna show? My
Yeah.
apartment? Like like I'm like, what
It
am I really
happens.
showing?
Yeah, I know.
But it is the relatability of it all. Like, yo, just
Mm-hmm.
share that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Just, repost, retweet, comment, especially if you comment, if you subscribe, you're helping out the entire situation.
Free things to do. Free,
Free
like
things
free
to
moments to
free moments.
support the person that you're following, that you enjoy watching their stuff.
I love that you show love on the gram.
Oh, I love that. I love it.
I
It's
love that
fun.
you show love in such a positive way.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't seem fake at all. It seems
Thank
like
you.
so genuine and happy and like he supports you.
That's my babe.
You guys are actually really cute.
Thank you.
I
That's my
love,
boo.
first of all, I'm gonna talk about your wedding real quick. I love that you were so proud as a Latina.
Oh, yeah.
You put up that Puerto Rican flag, baby. You had everybody singing Preciosa.
Oh, yeah.
You better stop playing with her.
Well, I'm going to tell you the truth.
Tell me.
My husband got all those flags.
No.
My husband bought all those flags. He bought me the big flag. He wanted that moment at our wedding.
Was it like a surprise or did he
No,
tell-
I knew of it, but he's
Right.
the one who was like, I think you should do it, because we sing
that's good.
Preciosa wherever, like, I have a big family. So
Mhm.
anytime we're together, that song we put on and we sing it
You get
like
hyped,
literally
girl.
we are Mark Anthony, and
That's
we
in
at the
your soul.
concert and we like Preciosa, like we go in.
Yes.
So he's been around so long, he already knows like the words and everything. Like he's just like, I know it, and he knows how much we love our culture.
Yeah.
So he was like, you guys should just sing it there and like bring the flags and everything. I was
dope.
like, let's do it. So he literally
dope.
purchased all of that, and it was just like, and it was an amazing moment that he
Yo, it
also
was
clearly
fire.
enjoyed.
Yeah. No, you guys like I felt like the Puerto Rican Day parade was at
Girl.
your wedding, baby.
Oh
Like
my God. Amazing
it was
times.
everything. It was
Thank you.
and it was like such a proud moment. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh,
Which I love, because I
love
was able
that.
to bring like other people were like, I want to do that too at my wedding. I was like, please do.
I must do
Like,
that at my wedding.
please do.
I can't
I want
marry
you
a man
to.
that doesn't want to do that at the wedding, yo.
Like, it was a moment for like people like to get
Yo.
inspired to do that. I'm like, I'm fucking proud of who I am. And my husband is even more proud. I think he's more Puerto Rican than I am, I swear.
Really? Does he speak Spanish at all?
He says like 4 words. He's like, mira. Mira. I don't know.
And
He just
that's it.
like does
And
dumb
You
shit. I'm
speak
just like,
Spanish to him, like
I do, like I play around with him. I'm like, deja eso, like, tócate el culo. I don't know. I just be saying dumb
yeah.
stuff. And then he's just like, mira, déjame. And then he'd be like, pa arriba, pa abajo. He does the whole thing. It's just so funny.
I love to see the love of it all.
Thank you.
I really
So
do.
fun.
I love to see you happy, and I love to see like the experiences that you guys are creating together. It's so dope.
Your
It's
mama.
so dope, especially because on social media you're seeing like the violence and the hate and the
Mm.
and like you're just like, yo, like this is like real love and it's not giving any of that. Like we're positive over here. We're chilling.
Yes, yes. And we're not perfect. I always tell people that. I'm
No, of
like,
course. But what
but
relationship is, you know?
yes, but I'm like, I would say 95% of the time we're chill, like we're
You're good.
happy.
Do you guys compete? Because he's athletic
Oh,
as well,
he
right?
is. Oh my God, this guy. He's so competitive. Like
Really?
we'll go bowling. He's like, he won't talk to me because we're like bowling. He's like, back up. Mm, we're
It
not
gets
friends right
serious
now.
in the
We're not
household.
together. Yeah, I'm also very competitive. So yeah, we go
Head to
hand in
head.
hand. Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then we also see like your soft side, right? Like, cause now you're a titi.
Oh my God,
And
my
he's
little
adorable.
bobacho.
He's like with the cheeks. I love.
That's that's my
How has that
man.
changed your life? Being
Oh
like
my
a whole titi
God.
and like,
It's like my heart
right?
walking. I can't explain it.
Oh,
Like it's like I love him so much.
yeah.
He just Cameron. I'm like, and he looks like me. My sister hates this, but he looks literally just like me.
No, he does look like you. He really does.
And he's just a ball of like happiness. Like he's the
Yeah.
cutest, most smartest, most athletic little kid. And I just love him. Like
Yeah.
it's just a new love I never thought I had. So it's
Oh.
just
Are
perfect.
you speaking to him in Spanish and
I saw,
like
yeah, like we're like he says agua.
agua?
Agua. He's the cutest thing. I can't.
I
So yeah,
love.
we'll talk to him in Spanish. Like we're trying to like get him to talk more in Spanish because he's gonna learn English in school.
Yeah.
So definitely want. But he'll say certain words in Spanish and he
And
understands.
you're gonna be like, you're gonna be that guard
Oh
when he
no,
gets older,
yeah.
like, girls.
Back up. I'll be in the bush. No, no, I'll be in
Be
that
in the
bush,
bush, not the
honey.
bush.
And I'm gonna be like,
Not the whole bush.
excuse me.
Espérate.
Espérate, espérate. Go, back it up.
I'm seeing you.
Mm-mm.
Okay. What do you feel is like the best part of it all, of this culture of being Puerto Rican, being Latina, and just like embracing it all? What's the best part for you?
There's so many. I can't pick
There's so many.
one.
For me, it's
Yeah.
like the food, it's
Yeah. I
everything.
mean,
It the
it's the culture, it's the food, the people, the love, the excitement, the vibrancy, the spice. I mean, there's just so much behind being Latina, being Puerto
hmm
Rican. The flag, like I don't there was a moment where Puerto Ricans couldn't put their flag up. They couldn't wave it around. Now that's what we do all the time now. Like because we could not do that at a point in our culture. So it's just everything, literally. Like I embrace it so much. I love it so much.
Finish
And
this sentence, if you will. You know you Latina when.
mm, ooh. You know you're
You
Latina
know you
when
Latina when. Let's see, let me think about that too. You know you Latina when mommy or papi says Ponte Vicks. Ponte Vicks.
Can't. I cannot. I
Yo,
mean,
Vicks cures it all.
everything. You know you're Latina when I feel like uh, I don't know, like everything. Like when you do pa arriba, pa abajo, pa el centro, pa adentro, when you
Do you eat pegado?
I don't like it in my teeth. I know.
No, because I ask everyone this. Swear to God, like, well, let me not swear to God. Hold on. Edit, bleep, bleep.
Rewind.
Yeah, yeah. Take that out. No, I don't. Growing up, I did. Mommy put ketchup on the Big Al and I ate it. It was a whole
Mm.
vibe. Huevo frito.
Oh
The
my.
whole nine. The whole nine. Now I'm like,
What was I
what?
eating? Yeah, I know.
I'm going to bring my mom on this show because I swear I
You
have
should.
questions for this lady.
You got a whole 2 hours worth of good.
Girl, it's going to be nonstop. Like, mommy,
Girl.
I got questions for you. Why pegado?
Mm-hmm.
Why I couldn't walk barefoot? Like, what was the point?
What was that? Yeah.
W- Why the doobie with the handkerchief of it all? Yo,
I couldn't sleep over people's homes. I don't know if that's anybody else.
Oh, you know you Latina when
you can't sleep over nobody's house.
come
No
on now.
one. Like, not one
Mommy
person.
was like, you got your own stuff. This
Mm-hmm.
is your own home. This is
Mm-hmm.
your mattress. This is
I would be like, Mom, I hate you. You don't let me do anything. She'd be like, do 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 do. Like, she would not pay attention to me. She'd be like, you can stay till like 11, and I'm gonna go pick your ass up, and you're gonna bring your ass back home.
but were
But we
people
never.
allowed to stay in your place?
Yeah, but not the other way around. She definitely, and I understand why. Now as an adult, I'm like, oh yeah, when I have kids, they ain't sleeping over
Are you
either.
gonna be like that with your nephew?
Oh yeah, he's not going anywhere.
But boys are a lot easier.
And yeah, anything can happen to anybody, fíjate. So
You're right
no,
about
he's
that.
staying his ass right home. He'll go for like a few hours, and he's gonna bring his little butt right back.
Who is a Latina you look up to?
My mother.
That's a good one.
My mother.
That was a good
Yeah.
one.
She's phenomenal, that woman.
Is
I
she?
tell you, she really is.
Yeah.
She's a piece of work.
Yeah.
She's a mother
She's
at the
like,
end of the day, but I'm literally her twin. Like,
really?
her energy, her positivity, you just want to be around her. She's just phenomenal. And she's such
Yeah.
a hustler. She's so driven, and the way that she raised us with my father being sick was just like, you took on that responsibility
You
at a
gotta
young
commend her.
age. Because my dad was sick at 16, and they knew each other. So,
And she stood
and
by
she
him.
stood right by him. She could have left, and he told her at that point, like, I get it if you do. Like, this is not what you signed up for, type of thing. She wouldn't do it. She was there to the very, very end. So to me, that's just like,
That's loyalty.
that's
That's respect.
mm-hmm.
That's value.
It's just so many words of respect. Literally, like, I admire her so much for everything she's
Do you
done.
speak to her like every day?
Every day. I talk to my mom, my sister, my nephew, literally every day.
You know, I used to get so annoyed growing up when my mom would call me every morning. Levantate. I'm like, Ma, I don't even live with you. What are you doing right now? I live in
Sounds
my
like a
own
mom.
apartment.
Yeah.
And she would be like, no, mija. And I'm like, but then there was a time where like one time she didn't do it. I'm like, why you didn't call me?
Yeah.
What happened?
Right? We switch
Yeah,
roles
I'm like,
now.
what's
Like, you
going
didn't
on?
call me when you got home.
I'm like, where was my wake up
yeah.
call? So no, I get it. I appreciate, the relationship with the
Mhm.
mom.
Yeah, it's different. You
It's
admire it more
different.
as you get older, right? Because you're a kid. You don't
I
understand.
love my mom.
Yeah, it's just like a love that, like, now, again, as I get older, I'm like, so amazing. Like, I am thinking of everything that she did, and she continues to do. So
What's your legacy, Sam?
my legacy is leaving this world better than how I came into it, for sure, and just changing people's lives. That's
Mhm.
just, I do it for my dad. I do it for the people who don't see their potential. I do it for the people who don't have high self-esteem, who I want to help, wanted them to see how much confidence they could have.
Yeah,
That's what I want to leave in this world.
that's beautiful.
Mhm.
That's beautiful. Just whatever you want to say to your fans, because you have a lot, girl. Your
Oh,
followers
God.
are, and you have a cult like following
Yeah.
too. Like they
my
really,
besties,
yo,
as
for
I like to call
real.
them. Yes,
So,
yes.
just any last words that you would like to say to them,
Yeah.
where they can follow you, what you have coming up.
Yes, yes, yes. So my Instagram and TikTok, same thing, same handle. So it's at SO_Manti, MANTI. And I have my own online fitness platform. So you can do live workouts, on demand workouts. There's an amazing community behind that, so you won't feel alone. And I also have some monthly retreats coming, which I'm super excited
Oof.
about, where we can really bring the community in person, and you just feel each other's energy. You learn about yourself, you learn about what you deserve. You learn to feel unstoppable mentally and physically. So it's not only going to be fitness related, it's going to be also mental change for you. So
I can't wait.
I'm so excited. So yeah, that's where you can find me and shoot me a DM. Listen, I'm super like down to earth.
Super chilled. I love
I
her.
I do my best to answer people and just be super chill. And I think that's what people admire about me. That I'm just like, they're like, you answered. I'm like, if I see it, I'm gonna
Why not?
answer. Like
Yeah.
I'm not like that. So yeah. So thank
Thank
you.
you.
No. Thank you. And I'm super proud of you.
Thank
Honestly.
you.
This
Thank
is
you.
amazing what you're doing. You are doing exactly what I was mentioning, bringing opportunity for us to speak, have our voices heard, and just like continue to admire our culture and support one another. So thank you for that.
Thank you. Thank you. One more
One more
cheers.
cheers, and I gotta look at you.
Yo, yes, look at me. Thank you so much.
Of course, babe.